News on Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drew Petzing is a genius, and training camp dates. Stay tuned. It's here. The 2024 NFL schedule has been released. Let's talk about it a little bit, as well as some of the fantasy football impact.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray keeps it downfield. It is caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Singh, along with my fabulous co-host, Charlotte Shaff. What have you been up to this week, Charlotte? I feel like we always are, keeping up with Charlotte.
Yeah, kind of uneventful week so far. I mean, it's been pretty hot out, so I'm trying to stay cool. My boys are still in summer camp and classes, so I'm just basically being a carpool mom this week. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. I guess I have actually been opposite of that. I have been homebound this week. We're getting painting. I mean, we were supposed to meet for breakfast because we know each other in real life. I'm basically sealed in, although today they were peeling off all of the plastic from the windows and the door. So after the show, I'm going to have to go out and take a peek. I'm super excited. This is adulting.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. A new coat of paint. That's a big deal.
So excited. It is not Cardinals red, but I'm trying to channel the cooling breezes and ocean vibes of the Mediterranean.
Ooh, I like
that's where
that.
I'm going.
There you go. That works.
We'll see how it turns out. Well, let's talk Cardinals. Let's lead off this week with Michael Wilson. Last season, if you were a listener, you knew that I spent quite a bit of time hyping up Michael Wilson. I happened to meet his family last season. They are lovely people. Michael Wilson showed up to a bowling tournament last Super Bowl week. Lovely person. And now we're hearing all about his work ethic, his longevity. And if he can stay healthy, just like we said last season, he is really going to be something to contend with for other defenses. He is an amazing, talented man. So we had a bunch of clips and articles. What stood out for you this week about all the Michael Wilson hype?
I mean, everybody's just excited because they already saw his potential last season.
Right.
I mean, he had a fairly strong rookie season. So everybody's geeked up. All the guys are talking about how excited they are to work with him again. Murray is definitely pointing him out as somebody that he really wants to just meld together with even better this year. I guess that they love to chat with each other in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., but he's down with that. He's excited about that. So, the common theme that we've been talking about for a while now has been just that everybody seems to be having a really good positive bond with each other, and they want to build on those relationships. So, let's see what's going to happen, but I'm very, very excited about him.
I think I've solved this weird little freezing issue that I've been having. But yeah, Michael Wilson is such a strong player, and I am so excited to see him really get his day in the sun. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had the longest catch last season, like out of all receivers. So I want to hype him up, but I also want to keep him under wraps to myself. So that when it gets to those later rounds of the fantasy football drafts, he's still there for me. Because he's definitely going to be a great power combo with Kyler. So if you don't get Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. or Kyler and Trey McBride as a stack, look for Kyler and Michael Wilson. Hot tip right there.
That is a hot tip. I like that you're pulling out the fantasy talk already. So we got a plan. Do you
Man,
already
we
have
do.
everything planned? Do you already have like,
Not like planned. I've done a few mock drafts,
oh, okay.
trying to get ready to see kind of where players are landing. You have to understand, Charlotte, I play in like 20 something
Oh,
leagues.
dang. Okay, that's a lot. That's a
So, and they
full-time
have,
job.
well, it kind of becomes a full-time job, yeah. Some of them have different scoring, where tight end premium happens to be my favorite because I love the tight end position. And so there's a lot of studying on where am I going to choose this player. I will say that Michael Wilson is going to be a great value, meaning that he's going to fall to people in later rounds. You're going to see a lot of the Justin Jeffersons going in the beginning. All of those top receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, we're going to see all of those stars. We're going to see Marvin Harrison Jr. going quite early, I believe, in fantasy. So having that little Michael Wilson nugget tucked into your pocket is going to really come in handy for you as a fantasy player.
Oh, by the way, I also saw an article that was talking about Michael Wilson as something big coming soon, and he wouldn't share too much, but I can't wait to hear what that's going to be about. So,
That's juicy. Yeah.
So
Wow.
what's it going to be, Michael?
Get Charlotte with the scoop up in here. One thing I really love that I have seen is Michael Wilson is out there being his best PR man. He is
Mhm.
sharing with the world, hey, I'm here. I'm ready. If you saw me play at all in college, if you saw me play at all last year, then you know I'm a good player. I'm confident in my ability. And then in the same breath, he manages to give credit to Marvin Harrison Jr., our new rookie wide receiver. So we have our second year receiver praising our new receiver and making the team even better. He doesn't feel like it's a threat. It's not a competition. They're both going to get loads of targets. So Marvin Harrison Jr., players and coaches and fans, everyone's talking him up, especially after the mandatory mini camp.
Mhm.
What were your observations coming out of this week's mini camp?
Well, I gotta say, I mean, there's so many expectations in regards to Marvin. And the fact that everybody is hyped up about him and they're talking about how well he's going to fit into the team is very positive. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of egos or, inside competition. So that makes me very positive and hopeful. Everybody's talking about his height too, but the fact that he is so skilled at what he does that I feel as though he's going to make what he does look so easy on the field and be able to just really perform top notch.
Yeah, his height definitely has been a topic. I believe he's 6'4". And when I think about his height and his ability, it almost reminds me of a tight end, except he's not quite as bulky. Usually a tight end's a bit more bulk on them, but he is an impressive athlete at that height. And the speed, I guess his speed is what's really most shocking when you see his height in comparison to his speed. He's fast, he's agile. He's everything they said he would be, according to a clip from Bo Brack there at the press pool. We learn a lot from those press pools, I must say, and I'm really grateful for those guys because like Bo Brack, and Johnny Venerable, you can
Mhm.
find them on X, and they do a daily live podcast called PHNX Cardinals. You got to put the N in there.
Mhm.
But that those clips that they pull out from the press pool really help us to stay in the know. So I'm really, really grateful for that.
Absolutely. And I was listening in, I can't remember which podcast it was, that next year they may eliminate some of these preseason type of workouts, which is
Oh,
going
wow.
to lead to less content for everybody to talk about. I'm not quite sure the reasoning on that, but that was an interesting insight that I heard about.
That's
Um,
kind of a bummer.
yeah, it would still be rookie camp, but they would maybe get rid of some of these other ones before they go back to pads and getting ready for the season.
Speaking of season, I'm going off script here a bit, but we heard from Donnie Druin that it looks like that regular camp is going to begin July 23rd, which should mean that our public tickets would begin July 24th. So I'm super stoked about that. Are you going to be there? Are we going to go together?
I would love to go there. I haven't been in a long while, so this would be a really cool experience, and I would love to bring my boys with me. That would be really fun. I
Okay,
just got to figure out the best day to go and the best timing.
we're going to do it, and we're going to eat hot dogs, and I'm going to have a beer. We're doing it preseason style.
You gotta. I mean, we're in the stadium. We gotta.
Well, we have such a great group of players. They're hyping each other up like crazy. They're each other's best wingman. It really is a testament to that quote, a rising tide raises all the ships. I mean, I don't know what else we can say around that. We just have such a great team going into this season.
Absolutely. And to go along with that, I mean, we have an amazing offensive coordinator in Drew Petzing. I mean, this has been a common theme as we're talking about that, the leadership, the talent of him is really showing. Obviously, with Kingsbury, he was hired fresh out of the college coaching. He instilled a shotgun friendly offense that was designed to spread defenses out. But Petzing is in his first season at the helm of the desert, and he's utilized the quarterback Kyler Murray more under center with a run first approach in mind. So with them establishing better rushing attacks in the league last year, I'm sure that their quarterback is going to be ready for a full season, and he is the man behind it. And we can't wait to expand and see what happens.
I mean, shout out Donnie Druin, SI.com, for writing about the Cardinals. His article on Drew Petzing is so great. My favorite part though has to be the whole first line. You need to go and read it, but it basically says there's really no comparison between Drew Petzing and Cliff Kingsbury, which I mean, it sounds like a bit of a slam, but I don't know that it is. The slam to me was, Donnie, I'm calling you out because this was pretty ballsy. You're like, Petzing coming in for placeholder Cliff Kingsbury, placeholder in quotes in the article. But yeah, definitely check it out. It sounds like Drew is bringing a brand of positivity, a brand of camaraderie that we, like, as you've mentioned, we've been speaking about all season, and it's refreshing. And not only is it refreshing and it's great to talk about, but it appears to be working. Other teams are taking notice. Other media outlets are taking notice of the Cardinals, and it's going to be a pretty amazing season, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And Kyler is also super hyped out about him. I mean, calling him a genius in an interview this week. He said he's a really smart dude. And because he wants him to be as versatile as possible, I feel as though Kyler feels more confident that he's got someone behind him that is saying, I believe in you and I want you to perform in the best manner possible. And let's look at all the options and make it work with the rest of our players. So that is very inspiring also.
It is. And I draw a lot of commonality between the Cardinals and the Ravens because we're also big Ravens fans in this household due to my husband being born in Maryland and Baltimore. But the Ravens had a similar change when they last year brought on offensive coordinator Todd Monken and gave Lamar carte blanche to do what he needed to do to be Lamar. So there's not that pressure. Lamar and Kyler Murray have a lot of the same style. I'm not comparing them as like MVP, and don't come at me in the comments. What I'm saying is they're both running quarterbacks that have a similar style, and having an offensive coordinator that's like, you do you, takes the pressure off of, do I run? Do I pass? Do I hand off? Like it allows a little bit of breathing room with still some structure in place, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of, being on a team is working together and understanding what is going to work for each other, getting the guidance, but also being able to say, hey, this is how I feel on the field, and let me do my magic.
Magic. It has been another great week. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, show ideas, comments, just want to say hi, you can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. You can find Charlotte at Char Shaff and the show at Sick Pod Kelly. We have some big news coming next week. I can't wait to share it with you.
Ooh, can't wait. And don't forget, we really love it when you like and you comment and you share and you subscribe. So anything you do to support our show, we really appreciate it. And make sure that you're watching us either on YouTube, or let us know who you're subscribing to for podcasts. We will see you next week.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.